In this video, I'll be talking about 3 separate streams of potentially making some passive income. The first one you're aware of is Helium, which I've covered extensively on this channel. The second technology is the Akash network, which is an up-and-coming network. And then the third one is the Holo chain, which is a new project which is up and coming. In this video, I will cover all 3 of these technologies and see which one has the most potential. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, Crypto Layman here. Thank you very much for coming back. Today I want to talk about 3 separate bits of technologies which could potentially revolutionize the entire crypto market, and they have a lot of potential in making a decent source of income. The first one is the Helium network. The Helium has a blockchain which is currently experiencing some scalability issues in relation to block production times, etc. But there are validators coming in hopefully by the end of this month to alleviate that issue of scalability. Helium is a peer-to-peer wireless network for the Internet of Things, in which people like you and I can buy a Helium hotspot and provide coverage for the network in a particular area. And for providing that coverage, we are compensated with the Helium blockchain's native cryptocurrency token called the HNT token. If you want to know more about the Helium mining and how the Helium technology works, I will just include a link up here, so click up on the right and this will take you to my playlist where you can watch all the videos. The opportunity that Helium has presented globally is amazing. So we can all purchase a device, plug it in, connect it to the internet and leave it, and it will provide coverage for the network and earn us HNT tokens. The second technology or bit of technology that I want to look at is the Akash network. The Akash network is a decentralized cloud computing platform. Akash is trying to decentralize and introduce a peer-to-peer cloud server for the world. Its direct competitors are AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, Google's cloud hosting, as well as Microsoft Azure, which is their cloud hosting platform. What Akash is trying to do, I've explained that in a detailed video. Again, the link is up here if you want to check that video out. So click on the top right. Essentially, in a nutshell, Akash are trying to leverage the peer-to-peer network by allowing people to purchase the Akash Super Mini devices. Again, not too dissimilar from what Helium has done. You can plug in that mini computer and they will provide a specific amount of computing power to the Akash network, which can be traded on the Akash network. So you will have the suppliers of the computing power, which is users like you and I, and you will have customers who could be companies or developers who will require computing power that we are providing to host their apps on the Akash network, and we will be compensated for that in the Akash token. Now I'm going to introduce you to the third project, which is the Holo blockchain or the Holo chain. Now, on a very basic level, they are actually trying to do the same thing that Akash are trying to do. So they are providing computing power from a peer-to-peer network. So by leveraging computing power for our devices, which we provide to the Holo chain. In order to understand the entire Holo project, you have to understand that there are 3 separate things. So you have the Holo chain, which refers to the actual framework and the blockchain, which you can see here is serverless, is connectable, is resilient, configurable, scalable, and forkable. So that's the actual blockchain. Now, there are some key features with this Holochain blockchain. First of all, it has absolutely no fees. There is no mining involved. There are no fees involved for transactions. Transactions are very quick, very fast. It's a revolutionary new technology where you do not require 51% of the computers to reach consensus on a transaction. They are using a new technology that's coming in called sharding. So every node on the blockchain will have its own shard, i.e. its own piece of the actual blockchain. Instead of having to download and run the entire blockchain, the shard will only keep one part of that blockchain, and all the shards together will form the entire blockchain. So there are no block times to contend with. Transactions are kept on shards and they are stored locally, individually on different nodes. But they are accessible and they can be checked and verified at any time. So that's the Holo chain. Then you have the Holo platform. It's like a decentralized exchange where people app developers, companies can host their servers and their apps, and they transact in the Holo token, which is called the Holo Fuel. The Holo Fuel is going to be the native token on the Holo blockchain. Holo itself is going to be the platform where consumers will come together with people who provide the computing power. Holo are only going to keep 1% of the transaction as their profit or as their income. And for example, you're offering space on the Holo network that's priced at $100. In that case, Holo will charge the customer $100, but they will only keep $1 as 1% and pay 99% or $99 to the person who is actually providing the power. And then you have the third arm, the Holo host. So it's essentially the same thing that Akash are trying to do, but the Holo hosting is slightly different from what the Akash hosting is. Akash will be selling super minis, and then the super mini will be providing computing power to the Akash cloud, and Akash will then also offer their platform for other commercial data centers to offer their free space. So there will be almost in competition with the super mini owners. This is where the Holo chain is different, because the Holo chain is going to be purely a peer-to-peer network. There is no such thing as massive organizations and big organizations coming in to compete for computing power that they're trying to sell. So it's going to be purely based on devices that are called Holo ports. So they're like little computing devices, not as slick as the Akash Super Mini, I must admit. They're quite bulky, but these were the initial models. Maybe they have changed when they're brought out again. So these devices will be plugged in and they will provide all the computing power. And everyone who has a Holo port will be able to earn the Holo Fuel token. One more positive thing that I like about this project is that you don't actually necessarily need to own your Holo port. They have said that they will be introducing a software where you can install the Holo chain on your own existing machine, and then that machine can provide the power to the network. So owning a device, a Holo port, will not be necessary, but at the moment there is not a chance. You can't get into it. There were only a few hundred devices that were actually manufactured and sent out, I think, about a year and a half ago as the beta testing. They are the only ones that are up and running, and they're now trying to slowly sort of come back and scale and develop the product further. And as this happens, it will be something to look out for. So I would strongly suggest that you keep an eye out for this. Again, when there are further developments, I will keep you in the loop and I will make you aware of what's happening in the Holo chain spectrum. If that's something you're interested in and you would like regular updates, please let me know, and I will monitor that as well. And I will add that to the stream of my regular videos that I do. Now, as a conclusion, as I said, these are three awesome projects. Each project has its benefits and appeals in its own right. Helium, we are currently struggling with the supply of these hotspots. They're in huge demand and people are willing to pay stupid amounts of money. With the Akash network, the Super Mini is not for sale at the moment. It's still being manufactured and still being tested. Unfortunately, even if you want to pre-order the Akash Super Mini, it will only be available for sale in the United States. Now, if they're trying to create a truly peer-to-peer network, I'm not entirely sure why they're not going global with that device, like Helium has done and like Holo are doing. With the Holo, I'm going to show you how much these devices are potentially going to cost, and once they go on for sale, I will definitely give you a shout out. So at this moment in time, if you go onto the website, they say that you can pre-order the Holoport Nano, which is one of those devices. The Nano is something that does not come with the hard disk drive, so you have to plug one in and do some coding and configuration to get it up and running. But it is going to be on for sale for $119 US. So relatively cheap, and if you buy a quantity between 5 and 10 devices, then you get $10 off per unit. As I said, you can't pre-order these at the moment. However, you can sign up your email address to be alerted when they become available. So this is it in terms of videos. So 3 awesome opportunities for some passive income. Let me know which one you like the most and what your thoughts are on the Holo chain. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've pinged that notification bell. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves. I'll speak to you soon.